How quickly do goats multiply? Remember, goats multiply fast every year, and 3 females can turn into 10 in a matter of about a year if you keep all of them. Some people sell or even give away the male kids almost as soon as they are born, so that they can have extra goat milk for home use or keep them females.
If you want to go commercial and you yourself, you make the investment to stock up on 30 goats, guys, that's a heavy investment. You understand? Even if you're buying Mobendes, okay, you do the Ugandan conversion for 30 goats times 450,000 Ugandan shillings. That's still a hefty investment.
How can I improve my goats' productivity? Care and management are really crucial. Always be very careful about the health condition of your goats. Healthy goats ensure better production and more profits. Good housing, quality feeding, proper care, timely vaccination are very important for the goats.
You're buying blindly. One day you're gonna wake up and realize half your flock is just dropping dead. You have no answers. The people at your farm will not have any answers for you. And you yourself, you're gonna have sleepless nights.
Rise and shine, Valley Farm family. Welcome back to another episode of The Farm. If you're new here, you are most welcome. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and also turn your notification bells not to miss out on any episodes of The Farm. And of course, to all our returning subscribers, thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys so much. I'm really super happy to be back at The Farm. So many updates for you guys. And of course, I also have my co-director on standby who's going to say hello to you guys and also say something. You're most welcome.
Thank you very much. Well, hello everybody. My name is Co-Director Grafton. Back at it again here at The Farm. Just finished, well, not finished, but in this section here, I just completed my rounds. Our ducks are looking okay. They're not in the greatest shape because of the change in the temperature. Not the temperature, but I would say the season. The rain is not as abundant, so their typical natural ponds are not filled up with water. But we've actually come up with a solution. I think that will remedy that problem. We'll share that with you guys shortly.
Yeah.
But apart from that, the pigs are looking fantastic. The piglets are looking, you know, I have to say, they look really, really good. So good. In fact, we wanted to actually take some bacon home today, but that's another story. But apart from that, you know, the best part about being involved in a project like this is when you actually make it to the ground and you see progress taking place. I don't think you can put any price tag on that, you know?
That's true.
So what do you think about what you've seen here today?
I'm really very, very happy. You know, there's someone who came here to do some work and he just had a sneak peek of the pigs, was like, hey, he called me, was like, your pigs really look so clean. It's like you guys even wash them. You bathe them every day. I was like, no, it's just a system that we are using. And also was like, I think you guys really put so much money in these things. I was like, no, it's just normal, you know, normal management, the normal routines that we have, but it's all about the management, how you care about these animals at the farm. And of course, we have also received so many people complimenting on how we are taking care of the pigs and the goats, how they are looking like. It is just the routine that we put in place, and also making sure that each and everybody does that what they're supposed to do at the farm. Because, you know, with the morning chores that we have, even evening chores, you know, we have a routine that we always follow every day. And of course, we make sure that things are done on time, they're done very well, and of course people are also knowledgeable about what they are doing. That's why we have different departments for the pigs. People who are working in the pigs are quite different. The ones who are working in the goats are also trained, so we train them on how they are supposed to do their routine. And of course, that's what all farmers out there should also, you know, pick a leaf and also learn from what we are doing right here. But I'm really happy with the development, back to the developments that we have and the activities that we have today. With the dip, I don't know, last time we showed you guys how the dip was going to be, but right now I'm really super excited to go and check it out. Grafton has already been there, but I'm going to also check out because I was also doing other rounds at the farm. Yeah. How was it?
It's looking pretty good. We have a really competent builder on the ground. He's doing a fantastic job. But I have to say this, right, guys, you know, since we've been in this business, the part of the business, I think the hardest lesson that I think that we have both learned and we want to share with you guys, you know, many of you will not hesitate to spend 10 million, 20 million, or if you're talking dollars, 2,000, 3 to 5,000, or even some of you have deep pockets. You might even go 7 to 10 to 15,000 to stock your farm with goats. But then when it comes time for you to care for your animals, that's when you want to go cheap. That's when your hands get short. You don't want to go all the way into your pocket. Why are we saying this to you? In the beginning, we were just like you. We had so many goats at the farm. We figured, like, you know what? We can read, we can just do our research, and we ourselves, we can be de facto vets. You should be a de facto vet in terms of your knowledge base. But when it comes to you having access to a real vet, you should definitely do your best to make that investment, because there are plenty of you out here that are suffering in silence, that are dealing with more than 50% mortality rate at your farm when it comes to your kids, which is really truly your profit. If you are a farmer, I don't care if you're dealing with cattle, if you're dealing with pigs, if you're dealing with goats, but let's talk about goats. That's the subject I want to cover in this particular part of the video. If you do the math, if you are at a 50% loss ratio or 40% loss ratio, many of you reach out to us, especially on the Value Farm email account, and your goats are dying. They're giving birth, and the kids are dying. They survive a month, they survive 2 months, and they're just dropping dead, and you don't know what to do, right? And the truth be told, if you do the calculation of these very high quality crosses that you're losing, it's so much cheaper for you to actually try to hire a reputable vet to actually come to your farm. And if you can convince that vet to stay, even better. But even if they can actually come to your farm, you sign a contract with them where they come to do preventative work before your animals are sick. Because many of us, many of you guys, including us from the beginning, before we knew any better, we only called the vet reluctantly because we didn't want to spend that money. We were trying to save 200,000, 100,000, or 50,000. But in reality, when you lose 4 goats, that covers the salary of a full-time vet at your farm. Because 4 quality goats, you're looking at well over close to 3 million shillings.
That's true.
Right? Especially if you have these high quality crosses that are beyond 700 or 800,000. When you lose those kids, you never realize those profits, and you don't make those up. Those are just pure losses. So if you can be preemptive, right? And I know many of you out there, you're not just losing 4 kids a week. Some of you are losing 2 to 3, 4, 5, 6 kids per day. And this is why I have a bone to pick with my fellow Ugandan farmers out here. Many of you know you're suffering, and you know things are not going well for you at your farm, particularly when it comes to your kids, your offsprings, making sure that you actually get them to safe passage from being born to the point where they can be weaned and actually make it into your your breeding program, right? So, but many of you will continue to take those losses in perpetuity, meaning, you know, for the foreseeable future. You will never, ever do anything different. Where I'm from, guys, there's an adage, there's a saying. The truest definition of insanity is somebody doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. If your aspiration in this business is to go from being a subsistence farmer, where you're just growing animals for yourself and your family, then I understand if you just want to do it the old-fashioned way, where you don't care if your males are mixing with the female, though we don't recommend that, right? But some of you, if that's the route you want to take, if you know genetics don't matter to you, you're just growing these, you just have a few goats in your compound, you know, every couple of months or every 6 months, or maybe once or twice a year, you want to pluck one for a special occasion, then that's you, that's your prerogative. But if you want to go commercial, and you yourself, you make the investment to stock up on 30 goats. Guys, that's a heavy investment. You understand? Even if you're buying Mubendes, okay, you do the Ugandan conversion for 30 goats times 450,000 Ugandan shillings. That's still a hefty investment. Why would you then make that investment and then you have somebody at your farm barely earning 300,000 shillings a month or 400,000 shillings a month? And some of you pay way less than that. I'm just throwing out general numbers, okay? And you turn that investment over to that person. And then you basically, to them, they don't know anything. All they think is if a goat is coughing, give them 10%. Which one is it?
Yeah.
Ivermectin, right? It's either ivermectin or what's the other one?
10%.
The 10%, 20. They're just guessing. They don't know the
That is a first
doses. They
aid.
don't know they don't know how to differentiate between the dosage and the size and the age of the animal. So then they're overdosing your animals. And guess what? The more they abuse those drugs, the less effective it becomes, right? So if you can, and again, I know this is it's gonna be a heavy ask for many of you out there. Even if you can't afford to have a vet today, it should be in your business plan. You should have that aspiration. We actually received a very lovely email from actually a new farmer, which is here, not too far from Chichusa. They're working with a group to really help them manage their farm. And this group, they're actually currently located in Switzerland, right?
Yeah.
But they want to be proactive. They're close to retirement. So they went ahead, man. Talk about starting today, starting with what you have. They actually started their farm, remotely. They have a relative that's actually visiting, that actually visit the farm, keeps an eye on it. But then, they were facing the same problem. They have very good quality goats, but the kids just kept on dying. So then the first thing, instead of just answering the email, I decided to actually have them reach out to me, and we had an actual conversation. And I was so impressed by the effort that these people are putting in. Mother and son, by the way, you can definitely take that into consideration, because you might not have all the money yourself, but if you have a cousin or relative who's as serious as you are, you can definitely look for suitable partners out there that are serious about the project. So they started, and I asked her, the first thing I asked her, so when you stock those goats, did you test them for brucella? Did you test them for the disease that might actually silently ravage your farm? And she did not.
She has
and
no
so,
idea.
to her credit, I put her in touch with the DVO, thanks to your help.
Yeah.
And they actually came on ground, tested all 70 plus of all their goats.
Wow.
Fingers are crossed. I'm hoping that they're okay. But that's a lesson to you guys here. Many of you just show up to people's farm. You're handing them 30 million, 20 million, or 10 million, or 15 million. When in reality, you should never purchase a goat from anybody. I don't care who they are. You show up with your vet. You take your blood samples. You get those goats tested. Because guess what? In Uganda, there's a thing here. All sales that are made are final. If you find yourself buying 30 to 40 goats from someone,
goods once sold, not returnable.
Final, okay? And you take it off that person's farm. Even if you just take it around the block and come back, and then you find out there's something wrong with those goats, they will not take it back. You're not gonna get your money back. So do yourself a favor. When you're gonna go stock your farm, you identify a reputable farmer or farm you wanna go to, bring your vet, bring your testing kit. Don't just do a sample. Don't go half measure, okay? Because half measure cost us very dearly in the past, right? If you're gonna test your goats, test all your animals.
All of them.
You understand? Especially from the beginning, okay? And so you make sure you do that, because when you have that confidence that you bringing these goats onto your property, that they're healthy, all you have to do is quarantine and make sure the vaccinations get up to date, then you have a proper start. You have a chance. But if you just plucking, you buying blindly, one day you're gonna wake up and realize half your flock is just dropping dead. You have no answers. The people at your farm will not have any answers for you. And you yourself, you're gonna have sleepless nights. But all it comes down to is being proactive, making a real investment
True.
into preventative care. That's what we should be practicing. That's what many of you need to have, that paradigm shift in your mind where you are proactive and actually having the vets come out to your farm, do a field check, do a site visit, make sure that the places you're keeping these animals are being kept up to standard, properly clean and disinfected regularly. And then they can catch something that might become hazardous early. And it's much cheaper to go about it that way versus you waiting until you get ravaged by whatever might be ravaging your farm. And then now you on the back of your heels. And that's when you lose the most.
That is very true. Wow, that has been really very nice. And of course, such things cannot be done if you're buying goats in the market. You can't go to the market and go with your vet and first start testing. That is not possible because people are ready for money. They want cash. So there's no one who's going to give you the time and say that, do you know what? Let my vet first test these animals before I take them to my farm. So we always tell you over and over and again, if you're going commercial, if you want to breed these goats, do not go to the market and just purchase. And even if you go to a farm whereby someone just tells you, I don't want you to test, that is a red flag.
Walk away.
Yeah, that is a red flag. You should be very careful. Someone, a person who is really serious with farming should allow you to at least test these animals so that you can know what is, the vaccinations, the records. You can definitely ask for them. But some of you go out there, you go to these farms, you just say, just give me, I'll try, let me take to my farm. And when you go to your farm, you start suffering. You start losing goats one by one. And you wonder what happened exactly. Or even they tell you, we vaccinated them. I think the vet came. Because most people who own these farms are not even on ground. They leave everything to their managers, to the people who are taking care of these goats at their farms. And they maybe lie to them that, we already vaccinated, we did this and that. Then you also get, convinced. Then you take to your farm and you start seeing goats, reducing each and every day, and you wonder what really happened. Then you really hate the goat business. You hate farming and you say, these people just lied to me. I think this is not a business for me. It's not really so good.
And I want to give, I want to just impart some friendly suggestion to you, my good people out here. As our geese flex their muscles, the bodyguard of VF, the real protectors of the herd. Take a look at them. They're so beautiful back there. But here's what I wanted to actually really try to drive home to you.
Yeah.
Many of you guys locally, regionally, wherever you might be watching from, but I know this is not a problem for my brothers and sisters in Kenya because you guys understand the value of sheep.
Okay.
And how great sheep meat is for both the taste and of course for the appreciation that exists in the market in Kenya. I'm sure it was not always like that. It was definitely something that had to be fostered over time. But here's the truth. When you guys decide to get into farming, you may love the way these Kalahari red goats look. You may love the way the boas look. They're so beautiful. They're so majestic. But where your land is located may not be conducive for you to keep goats.
Yeah.
And we've been to so many different parts of this country in search of the best goats and search of the best farmers to feature here on the VF channel because it's our responsibility to try to feature farmers out there that are doing things the right way and people that we feel are integral, right? That are definitely, in alignment with the way we view the business, right? And so many of these regions we visit don't have this lush green that we have in the background. The grass is already brown. And basically, once the quote-unquote rainy season ends, the place turns into a semi-desert.
Yeah.
And many of these folks are trying to keep goats, and they're not reaching that level of success they're hoping to achieve. But in reality, those terrains are perfect for sheep because the drier it is for most of these darker sheep, that's where they thrive, the better they do. And so I urge some of you guys, I hope one of you or two or maybe three will find this video in time. Put away the stigma of not wanting to look after sheep. The market for sheep is growing. You need to be a pioneer in your region. Forget the haters, forget the doubters, forget people. I'm going into a good project, or I'm going into poultry, there's nothing wrong with any of that. But please understand where you are matters. The actual topography of your land matters. The actual amount of rain you get per year, per season matters. So if you're not blessed to be in a lush area such as where we are, it's okay. Go with the sheep and be fruitful. You're gonna win. I just wanted to put that out there.
That is really very interesting. Thank you for that. I hope you guys are really taking your notes down, as you always say, because whenever you reach out, you're like, I started my farm because of what I've been taking note of from the videos. But we really appreciate you guys so much. I hope you've learned something from this video. Please leave your comments down below in case you learned something, 1 or 2 things, or in case you want to share your idea with us as well. Farmers out there, in case you have those nice ideas that you want us also to learn from, please leave your comments down below, because we really appreciate. We also read your comments, by the way. But we really appreciate you guys so much. If you haven't checked out our social media platform, please go check out on Instagram. It is Value Farm UG. TikTok, Value Farm. Facebook is also Value Farm. Go see behind the scenes and also short clips that can, motivate you, that can help you as well. But we really appreciate you guys. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.